Okay, welcome back. I am sniffling a lot. I don't know if I'm sick. Hopefully not, because I have a friend over. Achoo!
Don't sneeze on me.
Anyway, I don't know why Audacity makes it seem like it's so low. This is like the last episode, at least for part one. And then y'all are not gonna see me again on the main channel for a minute until I get done with this big project I have in mind. Today's episode is kind of a good one. I don't know. That's just my opinion. This one goes more into detail with Min and her character, which I kind of like because she was always an interesting character. But it sucks that we don't really get to see a lot of her until the final arc. But we're here. It's whatever. And without further ado, let's just get into it. Okay. So, since this is the last time, we're opening the scene for the last time. Kind of obvious, but we see Hayden, June, and Min at the playground. Hayden is telling the other two about what he saw in the newspaper and that only 4% of American population is Asian American. The two of them don't really believe what he's saying for a minute because in the neighborhood that they live in is so Asian populated that white people are just essentially rare to see, and they fight him and say that he's completely wrong. In the next scene, though, we see all three of them and their parents. We just see Min and June and their parents in the car, and Min is upset. She said that she hates skirts, but her mom says she looks cute in them, to which Min responds by saying she doesn't want to look cute, she wants to look cool. June and Min just start arguing over the Game Boy. I don't know why, but they just do. And her mom says she doesn't need to be playing the Game Boy because none of her friends who are girls play the Game Boy. And then her mom said that she should get her hormones checked at the doctor, which is kind of wild to say if you ask me. So Min ends up throwing the Game Boy out the window in a fit of rage, and it just lands on the concrete as they're driving. Later, they're at McDonald's filling Hayden in on what happened, and June has their Happy Meals ready. And Min didn't really like what she had gotten, so she wanted to go talk to the lady who takes her order. She's like, yo, I didn't want this. Give me a toy for boys, like a monster truck or something. I know you got one of those. But they just laughed in her face and told her to go back to her group. Probably a few hours later in the same day, Min's mom is screaming at her for cutting her longer hair down to something shorter and more scruffy, which is just her hairstyle that we see her with now. And her dad just joins in the scream battle and says that no man would ever want to marry her with hair like that. To which Min says that she doesn't want to get married or have kids. After trying to mentally manipulate their child and failing to do so, they try and guilt trip her by saying, what did we ever do to deserve a horrible child like this? There's something wrong with her brain. She's so disobedient. After calling her dad stupid, for lack of a better term, she called him retarded. Her dad picks up a small statue and throws it at her, but misses and hits the glass table. And her mom was just okay with this, by the way. She was like, you were asking for it.
What is happening?
To like that's what I'm saying. To like a third grader. Anyway, new scene, new me. Anyway, Min, June, and Hayden are all playing baseball again, and Min is still upset about yesterday. Rightfully so, she got a small statue launched at her. Anyway, she pulls out a pack of seaweed seeds and starts chowing down, and talks about how she'll be alone for the rest of her life and be like a lone wolf and never fall in love. Ironically, as soon as he says this, Dia walks onto the scene, and it's like love at first sight from young men. Now that a girl's walking onto the field, the other boys start whispering about her. So Min stands up for her, W, and gives her encouragement by saying, I won't give up if you don't give up. And with that bit of encouragement, Dia smashes the pitch out of the park to everyone's amazement, because she's in like third grade. I don't know how they're doing this, but they are. Min runs up to talk to her, which kind of scares Dia at first, but when Dia recognizes her voice, she seems to calm down. Min and Dia exchange names, and Min says Dia is a pretty name, like her. After putting on that power move, Min decides to share her seaweed, and she does. Now, we're back in ninth grade, and Dia is asking Min for help talking to the baseball group, because they're being odd. When we decide to check up on... Ooh, we don't talk about my stutter. When we decide to check up on the group, it's Sakura, Akarsa, and Yuki all role-playing for some odd reason. But when Krissa and Liz enter the group chat, everyone decides to mellow out, and Krissa suggests going out for lunch to celebrate the win against the Killer Whales, and they decide to go to a buffet. As a joke, they decide they could stuff Min in the equipment bag and just not pay for her, which is kind of genius since Min is so short, and Min signs up for the idea.
Would you do that to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would totally stuff you. Okay, I need to be professional. Noelle says that she can't go tomorrow though because her parents are super strict about her having fun. Min says that she can't go either because she's still grounded for being expelled from Niles. Noelle, being the big brain and high IQ person that she is, comes up with an idea that would allow them to sneak out and go along with the group for lunch. Oh god. Also, if you can't tell, this is more like uncut than my usual videos are, so just deal with it. Monkey. See this? I didn't mean to call y'all monkey. I'm sorry. I'm petting the mic if you can't tell. Okay, she decides to have a one-on-one tutor session with Min, so their parents will let them meet solo, but that'd just be a facade. Were you getting a call from Roblox? Yeah.
Dying, bro.
Dog, I should not be. Recording at midnight is like for being high and recording, bro.
It's very fun with your friend.
Yeah. I'm zooted out of my mind. After their parents leave and Noelle and Min are walking out the library, they start to bond over how messed up it is that they have to lie just to do basic things that aren't inherently bad or doing them harm. Noelle comments on how she doesn't see a situation where you don't lead a double life and hide most of your life from your parents, and that because of pressures from society, people who have kids, whether they're meant to for the task or not. She also says it took her a while to see that her parents are decent people who just make horrible parents. Dude, what are you doing?
I don't know what that was.
Anyway,
I'm joining Roblox anymore.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, monkey. Now that those two have finally made it to the mall, Dia is standing directly under the vents near the fountain because she ran 5 miles to the mall for some reason despite only living a mile away. And she said it's because she can't read maps. So Karcher suggests just dipping in the fountain to cool off. And Min backs her up on this idea because, and this is a direct quote from the game, it doesn't matter if you're not wearing a swimsuit. If you take off your clothes, your bra and underwear are basically a bikini.
Hey man, I side with her.
You're a little freak.
I hope, okay. That was too far, man.
I'm gonna be far up your guts.
I hope your mom comes out and throws a shoe at your face.
Obviously being against the idea, Okay, I'm gonna kill myself. Noelle raises the statement that the swimsuit isn't the only issue here.
Yeah.
Carter says he was just having fun, so Noelle tells her to jump in the fountain, to which she does, because there's a lot of money in there, and Min joins her on her adventure to get enough money to buy Mario Party.
Mario Party is fire.
The adventure is, however, cut short when Krissa arrives. For some reason, they actually go along with the idea and stuff Min inside the equipment bag and have Krissa carry the bag since she's the oldest and strongest out of them. Min ended up yelling at Sakura because she called her short and getting caught, but at least now she can eat regularly with the rest of them. When Akarsha goes to grab her glass for some water, Noelle stops her. Let me stop you right there, baby girl. And tells her... Noelle stops her and tells her to just grab her food and she'll fill up her glass for her. caught off guard by Noelle being nice for once. So Carson asks if she has a fever or something. And she says that she just doesn't have to. Noelle says that she just doesn't have the energy to deal with both Akarsa and Min at the same time, which is rightfully so. They're both chaotic autistic monsters. That sounds kind of rude. Anyway, Noelle and Min are in the food line of the buffet, but Min doesn't really recognize any food besides tandoori chicken, and Dia and Akarsa correct them on the pronunciation. It's tandoori, not tandoori. Anyway, Min ended up taking a bit of everything to try and impress Dia, and Akarsa takes another sip of water, but when she does that, Noelle shows her a photo of her holding the glass full of water next to the toilet bowl, and Akarsa is obviously and rightfully upset and runs to the bathroom to wash her mouth out. To wash her mouth out, and Dia runs after her because she's worried, as any good friend would be. Min decides to talk to Noelle, and she finds out it wasn't really toilet water, she just took the picture to prank her. Now that the workers are refilling the iced tea, she decides to grab a glass, but it was way off from the other beverages, but that wouldn't make sense because there was room for it next to the other beverages. So Min decides to give it a little sniff test, but can't really figure out what it is. Noelle is worried it's like a condiment or sauce and decides to wait for Carson and Dia to come back and ask them, but changes her mind and ends up downing a glass. What? After some awkward silence, Min decides to ask Noelle for the best place to take Dia on a date, and she suggests Snow Castle, which is like a shaved ice place. Now that Carson and Dia are back, Akarsa is shocked they're drinking pani and shares the funny situation with Dia. Akarsa explains that pani is meant to fill puri, the fried dough balls. And Akarsa and Dia take a picture. Noelle tries to escape Akarsa's torment, but ends up getting chased by Akarsa and tripping over quite literally nothing. Let me get all sensual with y'all. I didn't mean to harass y'all like that. I'm sorry. We'll do it anyway.
Did you say sensual?
Yeah.
Sensation.
Sensual.
Oh, what is sensual?
Now that Dia and Min are all alone, she decides to ask Dia out on a date. And she says, yes.
Sensual. Wait,
Anyway, now it's the next day during lunch. Like, they snuck out during lunchtime, which I, technically speaking, have done, but shh. That stays between us. Anyway, they snuck out during lunchtime, and now they're at Snow Castle. Just Dia and Min. Noelle is telling Min all the things that she needs to know about Dia's favorite food to make this, like, the perfect date, right? So now, Min is excited, because the shaved ice is meant for couples, so she wants to share with Dia. Min orders a shaved ice. Min orders the Mount Fuji shaved ice because it's blue, and Dia really likes blue. Well, just anything blue colored. She just calls it blue flavor. Anyway, Dia tells Min about the time she burnt a pancake so bad she couldn't get it out the pan and buried it in her backyard when she was 9. Min says she was so cute she can't stand it, and in embarrassment, Dia runs off to the bathroom. But she was so flustered by Min's comment that she just ends up slamming into the wall, and Min runs to her aid. Dia tells her that she's fine and continues her walk to the bathroom, right?
that's something you would do.
Akarsa texts Min and says that she thought they were about to start dry humping because of the way she held Dia, which blows their cover. Min decides to turn around, and it's Akarsa in a mustache and green sunglasses, and Noelle in a mask and sunglasses. I need to show you this, bro. I'll probably show y'all too, but I don't know, maybe if I'm lazy. Let me mute this so y'all don't hear, but it's definitely peak. Is this like a fire outfit? 1 minute, I gotta show you. Bro, fix your reels. still recording.
Oh, I didn't know. You don't get banned for that.
Dude, where is the clip? Dude, because it showed them in their outfit, bro. Unless they took it out.
Her mouth is cold.
You're spoiling the video, monkey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to call you a monkey. You're a cute little boy.
Don't call me that either. Just call me cute.
Yeah, this was the outfit, bro.
Okay. You're looking like a hood rat yourself.
Shut up. I am recording and you're calling me a hood rat.
Oh.
1 minute.
What?
Oh, no. Look.
Bro, that looks like me and you, bro.
Bro, that would be me right then. That'd be you.
Yes, because I'm an alien. I'm illegal. Wait.
Anyway, Carson reveals that Dia's been texting her for advice, and that's why she ran to the bathroom. Now Dia returns back to the table and says she's feeling better. Now that the shaved ice is ready and they decide to dig in, right? As anybody would, it looks amazing. Dia takes a bite and it's like mega cold, right? Why are you reacting like a Mr. Beast video, bro? Let me record in peace.
Oh, my bad.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought. God. Anyway,
I'm so sorry.
the Dia takes a bite and it's like super cold, and she tells Min that it's like freezing her gums. Min puts on a power move. She says, "Oh, is that so? Do you want me to warm it up for you?" And Dia says yes. So, I kid you not, I'm probably going to show you on screen what happens. She crawls over the table and kisses Dia, right? Like, I'm talking like a real lip lock, lip smacking, probably tongue. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I am. They was getting frisky with the kissing in public in front of people, right?
You know, don't explain that to me.
I'm not explaining it to you. I'm explaining it to
It's in front of me.
them.
Okay, you didn't have to say all that, though. It makes it
And
weird. Don't shush me.
Dia confesses her feelings, and Min tells her that she feels the same way. Don't ping me, monkey.
No
Anyway,
way.
Noelle noticed that the table is tipping and gets up to fix it, but Min tells Noelle to piss off. But the table ends up actually tipping and falling, and they get banned from Snow Castle.
Oh, no, don't leave me. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. No, I won't do it again.
I'm going on Do Not Disturb. I'm so popular, gotta go on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, because I was the only person that texted you.
2 people, actually. Anyway, with the game coming to an end, the group decides to part with the most meaningful life advice I've heard in a while, and obviously I'd like to share with y'all. So, can you genuinely hush?
I didn't even say anything.
So I'm just saying, hush.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you promise that you genuinely won't talk while I say this, while I say these lines.
I don't care.
Okay.
Touch my lips.
I'm trying. Shh. Shh.
Shh. Stop.
I'm sorry for. Okay, I'm gonna kill you. Just shut up and let me record it.
No.
God.
I did.
You're talking right now. Shh.
Yes, ma'am.
Dude, I can't. Oh my God, just. I'm talking, you're making me laugh. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. So, you know how during metamorphosis inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar turns to soup? It melts into this disgusting metal goo inside. Like a goo slushy, almost. Everyone is a mess when they're growing up. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. It's okay to be a flaming dumpster fire. It's okay if you're not what your parents wanted you to be. It's okay to change your mind. If you want to be a butterfly, you have to be butterfly soup first. If you think about it like that, we're all doing pretty good right now. We just don't know it yet. Just keep going. Keep trying, and eventually you'll find people who like you for the weird mess up that you are. You deserve to be happy. So don't give up. I won't give up if you don't give up. And that's how this masterpiece ends. One of the greatest games I've ever played. I can't recommend it enough. it's been my autistic special interest since I first played it back in 6th grade. You know, long time fan, first time reviewer. Is fire. Thank you for being with me for part 1. And that's what I would say if this was the very end. Now we're in the future. An undisclosed amount of time, it doesn't really say, but I guess like a few years in the future because they're out of school. And we see Dia and Min looking for another dog. Asking their current dog, Shibe, which he likes, he can't decide because he's so nice. So Dia picks a Pomeranian and decides to name her Pom. And that's how the game actually ends. It was a really nice ride, in my opinion. Pause. I really like this game. It was a blast to record. Especially like my first YouTube series, let alone like a video. God, I can't I don't know if it probably seems boring to y'all because I have like a very monotone voice. But it's genuinely like a really, really fun game to record, in my opinion. And I just can't wait to get Butterfly Soup 2 and record it for y'all and share it with y'all, which is in the works. I probably won't do it immediately after this, but I want to work on a video that I've been thinking about making for a while that I'm going to put on the second channel. I want to record that, and then maybe I'll probably take a break. I don't know. But just know y'all are going to see a lot more of me during the summer because, you know, I'm a kid in high school who's on summer break. Of course, I'm going to be spending my time inside like some neat loser. But, you know, it's been fun with y'all through this Butterfly Soup series. You know, have a good day, night, Christmas, evening, sunset, I don't know, Hanukkah somewhere, Cinco de Mayo, I guess. And it could be Cinco de Mayo somewhere.
Exactly, somewhere.
And, you know, with that, see you at 6.